3D platformers hold a special place in my heart, starting from my first console of NES to the golden gates of PlayStation 1. I was already in love with this genre. But starting with PlayStation 1, which is the best console and the best time for 3D platformers in my opinion, I was too in love with them. As a person with no siblings and no friends in the neighborhood, single player games were my thing. I was lost in the world of 3D platformers, JRPGs, karting games and sometimes survival horror games like Silent Hill. But today I'm not here to talk about Silent Hill, but I would like to take a deep dive into the scary world of 3D platformers and take all of you guys back to your childhood. Yeah, I'm here to talk about the real deal Bugs freaking Bunny, baby. After maybe 18 years, I once again played this classic, and I'm shocked that I remember more than 70% of content of this game. Launched in '99 by Infogrames for PlayStation and PC, company behind Driver, Alone in the Dark, Smurf Racer and lots of other Looney Tunes games. First of all, Bugs Bunny Lost in Time is a 3D platformer which uses the Crash Bandicoot formula of run, jump and hit. After the big success of Crash Bandicoot trilogy, lots of developer teams were in awe of game mechanics, variety of level design and change of pace in general, so they didn't stop themselves from using the whole Crash Bandicoot Warps formula. If you never played Crash Bandicoot before, be sure to check the PS1 version or the newest remake versions when you have time. It's a must-play series and don't require further explanation in my opinion. Story is basic and simple. Bugs Bunny is trying to get to the beach but ends up in a weird cabinet with a time machine. As the mainframe of this time machine looks like a carrot juice dispenser, his arm touches the time machine's lever and somehow he gets teleported to a land between time. But hey, don't judge me. This is how a carrot juice dispenser must look like, okay? There he gets to meet with Merlin in a place called Nowhere and learns that he needs to gather these clock symbols and golden carrots to fix the time, go to different eras and to finish the game. Basically the old 3D platformer formula of collect key items is also on work and I'm totally fine with it. Right from the start, nostalgia hits like a truck and made me feel like I'm an old broken man. From the visuals to music, Bugs' joke to the level design, I felt like I'm home. With basic gameplay of hit, run and jump formula, I went straight to the Stone Age, where Elmer Fudd is still trying to hunt us. Stone Age has dinosaurs all around and mainly focuses on basic platforming levels like tutorials, making Bugs to reach different areas to collect these clocks and golden carrots. Besides the Stone Age, Lost in Time also takes us to the Pirate Age, 1930s, Medieval Age and Dimension X, which frightened me and always made me quit the game. To be honest, I have this soft spot for crime related stuff. Movies, games, novels, whatever you say. And 1930s era of Bugs Bunny was my also favorite. Somehow, Bugs meet these Al Capone-ish gangsters called Rocky and Muggsy and tries to stop them, as well as getting time clocks and golden carrots. Their first level starts with a bank robbery and then their hideout, a car chase, and as last, a clash at Carrot Factory. During the platforming levels, Merlin mostly wants us to destroy several red Acme boxes to receive a clock. Besides that, there are also multiple objectives, solving platforming puzzles, beating tough enemies and sometimes using Bugs' magical power-ups. All of these environment scenes are faithful to the original cartoon. Especially the car chase level is my all-time favorite, with cars being changed just like in cartoon. It's both gameplay-wise and visually fun and entertaining. My least favorite age was, of course, Pirate Age. Back then and also right now, it's still the same. And the reason is jumping mechanics and plain level design. By my current run, I also encountered a game-breaking bug, so to say, that prevented me from receiving a clock and 100% completing the game. So another reason to just hate this era. Even though the game uses Crash Bandicoots and also Mario 64's formula at some points, jumping mechanic feels clunky and movements of Bugs feel unresponsive at some points. Infogrames fixes this problem by the game's sequel, Bugs and Taz Time Busters, but Lost in Time suffers from lack of accurate platforming mechanics, sometimes leads to frustration. Though the game does not have any life limit or punishing, so there is no big deal to make a fuss about it. My biggest concern this time is the flow of the game. From Stone Age to the Dimension X, game introduces each area's characters and setup. By making a visit to each era once and collecting clocks and golden carrots, then new levels by different eras also unlock, making the game not repetitive. Fundamentally, this is a good idea, though the second half of the game makes the player redo the levels by giving Bugs magical power-ups to reach new areas, kinda forcing us to do a 100% completionist run to finish the game. Well, in order to complete the story, we need 120 clocks. And guess how many clocks are in the game? Just 124. So 4 of those clocks can be left alone. 96% run is a mandatory to finish the game. And to be honest, I felt sated after I reached around 65%, which I was not expecting to be. Also remember the bug that I had by Pirate Era level. Yeah, now there are 3 clocks that I can just miss, meaning the completion stuff just got stricter. Around 65%, the game lost its charm for me, turning into a bland platformer which uses the same level design and same objectives but in a reshaped manner. By the Stone Age era, same level with same objectives and assets, but this time it's night and you need to use this propeller magic to fly around, kinda did it for me. That's why I lost my interest for Lost in Time and said, I think I had enough. Sad though, if players find some motivation to push themselves, they can as well as finish the game. But man, Dimension X is the real deal stuff. If I was an IGN employee, I would just say Dark Souls of platformers. Jumping puzzles are tough, there are cleaner robots that pick up bugs and throw him to the garbage pipes. It's pure and rough platforming, and think about it. I was just trying to play this when I was 5 or 6. Dimension X was mainly the reason that I stopped playing it around 40% of the story. It was that rough, and even now, players need to be careful with the platforms and cleaner robots, as the game mechanics also be a burden during the playthrough. Bugs Bunny Lost in Time is a fun and interesting platformer, but quickly loses its charm after 4 or 5 hours, leaving a bland, repetitive gameplay by the last corner. If it had the same amount of variety of gameplay choices, level design and approach just like it had by the first half of the game, I think I would have praised it even more. But Bugs Bunny Lost in Time kinda let me down by the second half. But don't worry folks, I am kinda in my retro mood these days, so lots of retrospective videos are coming soon. So stay tuned.